I love Marilyn Manson. Manson. I love Marilyn Manson. True story. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now, if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and Patreon, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. Over there. Now, if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions. You can become a reaction, you can fast track them. There's going to be educational patron exclusive videos. So consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. So this next song isn't a performance from a Halloween film, but for some reason, whenever I hear this song, I think spooky. It's the song Sweet Dreams. Now, this was originally by the Eurythmics, which was Annie Lennox, Scottish pride, and Marilyn Manson covered this. Now, I was saying in my live stream when I was painting this on my face that when I was a teenager, I loved Marilyn Manson. Like I still do, but I was utterly obsessed. I went to see him live and I had like the hoodies and wanted to look like him, the full shebang. So we're going to listen to an acoustic version of Sweet Dreams. He's playing with Tyler Bates and it's on an Italian TV show. So let's just get started.
Marilyn Manson, Sweet Dreams.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something.
So you'll hear this is a lot of slack fold work, so otherwise known as fry. He's frying pretty much the whole way through phrases. Usually people will fry into stuff like ow, like Britney Spears, ow. She does that all the time. Marilyn Manson though, he's keeping that slack fold thing going the whole way through. Sweet dreams are made of these. So it gives this kind of like croaky effect. It's like a creaking door almost. Now, fry is a really healthy thing to do. You can't hurt yourself doing fry. So as much as that sounds really laboured, it's not. It's just being lazy. You find lots of people will talk like this as well. They just It's a very relaxed position to be in. So I can imagine it's not going to stay this way because I know Marilyn Manson's voice. So let's keep going.
Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. And some of them want to be a yellow.
Oh, wow, okay. So when he starts getting into that higher place, he's still frying. It's still like really slack sounding. He's definitely pushing a lot more to make it more of a scream. But when he hits the highest parts of these phrases, he actually moves straight just into like a high sounding fry. Now, that's a toneless sound. But because we've heard him scoop up to that place, you kind of fill in the dots in your head and you think, oh, that's a note. But actually, if you were to put it into some kind of spectrogram, it would probably just register as nothing. It's more like a toneless bubbling sound almost. But it's hella effective and a very smart thing to do because he's not having to push up to that note. He's just letting the fry kind of take its place and you as the listener make that connection and you just put that note into your head. It's great.
Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. Keep your head up, moving on. I'm moving on.
So that was really interesting. Very syncopated, so it's like when it's punchy and rhythmic. He was doing a lot of scooping there. Moving on, moving on, moving on. But at points, it was so like lazily done. And I don't mean that he is lazy, but I just mean the scoop was so like long and drawn out that it almost hit points where it sounded a wee bit out of tune. But it actually suits the style of music that he's singing. It gives it this kind of like horror-y kind of edge. It was effective. If it was not on purpose, then it still worked anyway. So great.
Travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody looking for something.
Right, so he's actually moving it into whispers now. So sweet dreams are made of these. It's actually quite hard to do a really slight whisper and then start to add in tone on top of that. If you're trying to keep everything really held back, that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. When he started to go really low, he just went back into that fry. Again, that isn't a note, but it sounds like it is, because if I move with that song, everybody looking for something, I'm not actually hitting any note, that's toneless. But the listener will make that connection in their brains, and suddenly that fry sounds like a really low note. It's such an effective thing to do. He's really clever with that vocal there. I like the way he was commanding Tyler with, he's like, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. So they're actually starting to mirror each other. The guitar playing's mirroring the vocal now. So very, very good. I imagine it's going to shoot back up again.
Some of them want to yell you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused.
Now telling here, he backed off the mic for some of the stuff, but other bits he brought the mic right in, which tells you that screaming sound isn't as loud as you would think it is. Because if it was really loud, it would overload the mic. A lot of metal singers, they'll get into this healthy sound and then they'll let the mic do a lot of the projection work, which is a healthier way to be. Some of this is starting to sound slightly unhealthy sounding. Like if he was to do that loads, I don't know if you'd run into problems, but I mean, he's been doing it for years, so obviously it's not giving him any grief. It doesn't look comfortable. That's why it's maybe making me a little bit nervous. Oh, he spat. Nice.
Sweet dreams are made of these, and who am I to disagree?
Mic drop. That was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. Again, he was doing a lot of that like higher fry, which just sounds really kind of animalistic. It's so effective. Really, really good. The last part there was probably the most like connected singing that he'd done. There wasn't as much of that fry through it. It sounded a lot kind of healthier, if you like. But true to form, he did come back into that kind of sound as he went on. I like the playfulness of this performance. Like, he's kind of just singing what he wants. He's letting the wind take him in this way, that way, and whatever else direction. And he's just experimenting. It sounds like he's kind of making it up as he goes along. Like, the end of the song, it sounded like it maybe was going to end back there. And he was like, nah, I'm going to sing another couple of lines because I want to. And why not? If you're Marilyn Manson, you can make those decisions. He's also very, very intelligent, Marilyn Manson. I've listened to a few interviews, and the way that he kind of perceives music is quite original. Like, he did the soundtrack for the first Resident Evil film, and I remember this little bit, and he said that he'd made a sound, like he'd been experimenting, and it made a dog that was in the studio go absolutely mental, and he was like, that's the sound I want. So he's very clever in the way that he mixes and produces. And so I hope you liked that reaction. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how are we going to buy this one? So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me, and subscribe if you like this. My vids are weird, that's guaranteed. I don't even know what that was, so I apologize, but bye!